Everybody, welcome back to the Pat Flynn Show. This, Pat Flynn's off to a good start with his talking today. You'll have to forgive me. I was traveling, so I'm a bit tired. But hey, we're going to keep the energy high, and we're going to talk about 3 absolutely perfect kettlebell workouts. And we're not just going to talk about complexes today. We are going to talk about complexes because we love them, of course. We're going to talk about a very special flavor and kind of kettlebell complex, known as the ladder style kettlebell complex, which just is going to give you a tremendous calorie burn, an incredibly efficient workout. I think you're really going to love it. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, a complex is just a series of exercises performed back to back with little to no rest in between. So we're working multiple muscle groups and energy systems simultaneously. And then a ladder style complex adds a totally new dimension of intrigue and mystery and sex appeal, where we not just work through the different exercises, but we increase the reps as we go along and just impose upon ourselves a sort of well, it's masochistic in a sense. It really is very gruesome. And few kettlebell routines, few workout routines in general are as daunting as ladder style complexes. But if you want again, an incredibly efficient workout where you can reap many benefits: strength, muscle, endurance, just general work capacity in minimal time and with minimal equipment, this is the episode for you. So please stay tuned. If you are listening, I will have the workouts written out over at chroniclesofstrength.com. So please don't take out a pen and paper if you're driving. Just allow my voice to permeate into your eardrums and fill your brain with these workout ideas. And if you're on YouTube, hey, do me a favor, click like, click share, click subscribe, ring the bell. I know it's asking a lot, but it really helps. And you'll be treated to this high quality Pat Flynn PowerPoint. We always love the high quality Pat Flynn PowerPoints. They come with the glamour shot here. If anybody wants this picture, by the way, email me. I'll send it to you. You can print it out and put it on your fridge. Let's begin. Or actually, before we begin, a few quick updates. I was recently, the reason we're short on content this week is I was out in Ohio, and no, I didn't get off at the wrong stop. I was actually invited to Ohio to appear on a very cool philosophy-based podcast called Pints with Aquinas. And here's a photo from that for those of you who are on YouTube of me sitting down with the host, Matt Fradd. And it was an hour and a half conversation just exploring all different types of topics and what goes into like worldview and paradigm shifts. And it was really cool conversation. If you're into philosophy and stuff like that and theology, head over to his channel, check it out. He's got tons of awesome guests on. He hosts debates on different topics. It's just a very engaging channel, and it was a privilege to be on that. So I'm just getting back from that. The episode just went live just 2 days ago. So if you head over to Pints with Aquinas YouTube channel, you'll be able to see that. Last update before we dive into the workouts. 216's 2021 edition is launching this Friday, my friends. And this is a high quality buffet of short, intense workouts using just 2 16-kilogram kettlebells for men or 2 8-kilogram kettlebells for the ladies. And it's, if you like what we're talking about in this episode, you're going to love 216s because it's just short, efficient, time-crunched workouts. No thinking involved, just reach into the grab bag, pull something out, go, get awesome results. So get on the email list for that because, when we do these like special launches, the pre-order launches, you not only get discounts, but bonuses, you get early access too. So it's worth being an email subscriber, which is free. And you can join my email list over at 101kettlebellworkouts.com. Okay, let's get into it. What are ladder style complexes? What are we talking about today? Well, I already gave the brief outline, right? It is a complex, right? So we're performing different exercises in a sort of string with little to no rest between the exercises. But what makes a ladder style complex unique is we kind of dial up and down the intensity as we go by increasing and decreasing the number of reps that we perform. So this will make more sense once we get into the concrete examples. But as I said, these are really daunting workouts, but they are incredibly time efficient. They just burn a mountain of calories. They're great for strength. They're great for muscle building. They're great for endurance. Now, really quickly, when it comes to kettlebell complex design, how you build the complex will determine the type of outcome you get from it, right? So generally, but not absolutely, if you're performing a complex with fewer reps and fewer exercises, but with a, heavier load, that's going to focus more on strength. Whereas if you're kind of playing around with, a moderate number of reps, say between 6 to 12, maybe up to 15, and you're going heavy relative to that rep range, with maybe somewhere between 2 to 5 exercises, that's going to focus probably more on muscle building and more towards muscle endurance. And then if you're doing like extended sets, 15 reps or more, or 30 seconds or more per exercise with many different exercises, that's obviously going to be very endurance focused. So like Shabani yogurt, kettlebell complexes come in many different flavors. And depending on the complex you're doing or how you build the complex, you can emphasize different physical qualities that you want to develop. So people ask me, hey, can I use complexes for strength? Can I use complexes for muscle? The answer is yes. It just depends on the complex and understanding how to build a complex to emphasize the particular thing that you want to achieve. Now, there's always the cool thing with complexes is there's always bleed over, even if there's a focus. So like, okay, I might be doing, fewer reps and fewer exercises with a heavier weight, but just because it's a complex and I'm doing, multiple exercises, I'm still going to have some type of general conditioning effect from it. But that's kind of a secondary benefit. So that's part of the utility of complexes. Is you kind of always get a little bit of something, even if you're really emphasizing one particular thing. And we'll see how that works in as we talk through some of these examples. So yeah, that's the structure. We're going to build a complex and then we're going to scale up the reps. We might even scale back down the reps if we're feeling especially enthusiastic, let's say. And for those of you who tuned in last week to that Ultimate Warrior complex, that was just a very special kind of laddering complex, because we didn't just ladder reps. We also laddered and stacked exercises as we went along. So I got a lot of really good feedback about that. People have been trying that out and saying they really love that routine. So if you love that routine, that's one of the routines from 216. So if you love that, you'll enjoy 216s. You'll also probably enjoy these routines coming up. By the way, we're just going to name these workouts after other wrestlers because why not? I'm a huge late 80s, early 90s wrestling fan. That to me was the prime of professional wrestling, with the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan and Earthquake and all these awesome figures. So, what would my professional wrestling name be? I don't know. We'll have to think about that. You know what? I think actually, here's a picture of me holding a kettlebell here in this nice stoic flexed position. And somebody told me once that I looked like a jacked Ash Ketchum. Like if Ash Ketchum from Pokemon worked out, it would be Pat Flynn. And maybe that would be my professional wrestling name, the Pokemon trainer. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments. I'm sure you'll come up with something creative. Let's talk about, all right, let's start getting into specifics now with these ladder style complexes. Here's a general scheme. If you want, you can kind of spin these complexes different ways, but this is the way I want you to think about it. If you want to focus on strength, you're going to start with fewer reps. You're going to scale up in smaller steps, and you're going to use heavier weight, right? So if we're going to focus on strength, we're probably going to start at 1 rep of each exercise. We might go up to 5, and then we might go back down. So we're going to keep the reps kind of to 5 reps or fewer. And of course, since the reps are less, we can use a heavier weight. My general weight recommendation for to get the most out of your strength efforts when it comes to these complexes is to use a weight that would be within kind of 2 reps of technical failure at the highest rep range. So if we go up to 5, I want you using a weight where if you're not at your max at 5, right? Like maybe you could do 7, but you shouldn't be able to do more than 7. That's a good I think gauge for the type of intensity you should employ for these ladder style complexes if you're focusing on strength, right? So if you go up to 5, use a weight where you could do no more than 7. 7 should be your sort of limit before your technique starts to break down, whatever that is for you. Okay, so that's how you're going to think about it. If you're focusing on strength, you'll probably start at 1 rep of each exercise, go up to 5, and then back down. We'll talk about whether or not you should go back down as we get into the specific examples. If you want to focus more on muscle building and endurance, the general scheme will be this. You'll start at 2 reps of each exercise, and then you'll take bigger steps. You'll go up by 2 reps every time through, up to 10, and then maybe we'll go back down. Okay, so that's the way we're going to break these up, depending on what you want to emphasize. this would be a good structure. And, you know, it wouldn't be bad. In fact, if you just wanted to make a little program out of this, you could do 3 of these a week, and you could alternate. You could do like ABA one week and then BAB another week. And what do I mean by that? So call a strength complex A. So on Monday, you would do a strength-based one. Wednesday, you do a kind of hypertrophy and endurance-based one. And then on Friday, you do another strength-based one. And then the next week, you flip it, BAB. Then you would do hypertrophy endurance on Monday, strength on Wednesday, hypertrophy endurance on Friday. General rough sketch if you just wanted to kind of structure this. But as I said, these, you know, or did I say it? Well, if I didn't say it, if I did say it, I'm repeating it. If I didn't say it, you'll hear it now for the first time. There's many ways you can use these workouts I'm about to share with you. You could use them as a quick, 10, 15-minute finisher to your otherwise standard strength routine. You could use them as standalones. I'm just crunched for time. I need to get a great workout in without worrying about too much structure. You could try and structure something out a little bit more formal like I just gave you. So I'm giving you ideas. I'm giving you tools. How you want to use them depends on your goals, where you're at, and what else you're doing. If you're unsure, you can leave a comment or email me, and I'll do my best to provide some guidance there. So I'm giving you ideas. I'm giving you tools. How you want to implement them. I'm giving you some flexibility on how to do it. So let's begin. Variation 1, demolition. Very basic. But let me tell you something about my workouts. A consistent theme that I've heard from people is this: Pat, it looks simple on paper, but it was horrendous in practice. So don't judge a workout by how it looks on the PowerPoint or on paper. Wait until you do it, and you'll see how the intensity builds. So this would be kind of your beginner variation. I call it demolition. Remember that great wrestling team, Demolition? I wonder what they're doing these days. I'm pretty sure there's a ton of YouTube videos on like what the wrestlers are doing now. I'll probably go spend some time watching those after this. Maybe you will too. Anyway, let's talk about the workout. So here are the exercises. We got 3 exercises. We got 2-hand swing, goblet squat, and push-up. So those are the exercises we're going to be work with. That's the complex. So we got a nice hinge, we got a nice squat, we got a nice push. Basic hits, kind of all the major muscle groups. You're gonna get a lot of juice from that squeeze. Okay, if you want to focus on the kind of higher intensity, let's get really sweaty, and really deeply tax the muscle groups, metabolic conditioning stuff. Then start at 2 reps of each, go up by 2 to 10 reps total, and then back down. So let me just slowly explain exactly what I mean by that. So you'll do 2 hand swings, 2 goblet squats, 2 push-ups. Rest as little as you need, but as much as you have to feel you can perform the next set with good technique, and then do 4 2-hand swings, 4 goblet squats, 4 push-ups. Rest as little as you need, but as much as you have to feel like you can perform the next round with good technique, and then do 6 2-hand swings, 6 goblet squats, 6 push-ups, go up to 10. Now, you could go up to 10, and that by itself would be a great amount of volume and a good workout. But if you're feeling juicy, if you're feeling sassy, if you're feeling spicy, if you're feeling invigorated, then you can just reverse the ladder. You can start at 10 again, and then do 10 of each, 8 of each, 6 of each, 4 of each, 2 of each. Done. Complete, awesome, absolutely perfect full body workout. By the way, I called these absolutely perfect workouts because of the wrestler Mr. Perfect. And I remember it was like Survivor Series 90 or something like that. All the wrestlers came out, and nobody cares about this story, but I'm going to say it anyways. And they were asking, it was on Thanksgiving, and they're asking all the wrestlers what they were thankful for. And Mr. Perfect just came out and said, "I'm thankful for being absolutely perfect." And I thought, there's somebody who definitely has never struggled with the sin of pride. Hey, for strength on this complex, similar theme, but different variation. You're just going to use a heavier weight, and you're going to start at 1 rep of each. You're going to go up by 1 to 5 reps total, and then back down. So you do 1 2-hand swing, 1 goblet squat, 1 push-up, up to 5 and back down. Hey, if push-ups are really easy for you and you say, Pat, going up to 5 push-ups isn't that tough, I can say that's fine. It's still good just to do them. The practice is always going to, keep you strong. But you could just do different push-up variations. So maybe you want to start working your 1-arm push-up. That would be a fine way to, add more intensity to this if you're focusing on strength. You could also swap push-ups and just do single arm presses there, if that suits your fancy. So some pushing variation could be tossed in here. It doesn't have to be push-ups. Push-ups just work well in terms of flow and in terms of you know, like you could do dips as well, but then you're going to need probably another piece of equipment. So push-ups or presses both work well for this. But of course, you know, I'll leave that up to you. I would not object if you swap presses in there, but also feel free to explore different push-up variations. One-arm push-ups, awesome. And we could do sort of decline push-ups where you elevate your feet to increase the intensity there. So yeah, there's some room for play. So that's the first one. This, my friends, is awesome. If you just like, okay, I'm crunched for time, I don't know what to do today, but I want to get on a good workout, have this in your back pocket, because I think this will come in handy a lot. Okay, this one's actually called the variation. All right, here's a second workout. This is called Mr. Perfect. So we know who this one is named after, Mr. Perfect. This is one of my favorite kettlebell laddering workout sequences. You probably have done this before or something like it. I've played around with this variation numerous times, and I've got videos of this variation, maybe with a different exercise here or there on my YouTube channel. But now we're going to talk through it a little bit more. And the primary sequence is this. We're going to start with, now we're doing a single arm complex, right? So this is interesting because now we're going to have to repeat everything on both sides. So we're going to be doing considerably more work with this complex than the one that came before it. So this one definitely gets ranked higher on the intensity scale. And the exercises are as follows. You're going to start with single arm swing, then you're going to go to clean and press, then you're going to go to snatch, and then you're going to perform a kettlebell thruster. So one more time, single arm swing, clean and press, snatch, and kettlebell thruster. Now, the way I want you to perform this is I want you to switch sides every exercise, right? So you'll do your single arm swings right and left, your clean and press right and left, snatch right and left, and then the thruster right and left. By the way, a thruster is a deep squat. And then when you come out of the deep squat, you turn that into an overhead press. And yes, you are using the momentum from the squat to help get the kettlebell overhead. Trust me, that's okay. You want to do that. It's not cheating in this context. Okay. So deep squat to overhead press should be controlled, right? So I don't want to see like any wonkiness of like bouncing and in and out of the squat. So good deep squat, explode out of the squat, use that momentum to get the kettlebell overhead. Okay. So single arm swing, clean and press, snatch, thruster. If you want to, and then you can just pick your variation. If you want to do more metabolic conditioning, you start at 2 reps of each, go up by 2 to 10. And then if you're feeling especially juicy, you can come back down. And whether or not you guys are feeling juicy will depend on the day, but you can let me know in the comments and say, Pat, I'm feeling juicy today. I'll say, good. Then you can go back down that ladder style complex. So what would that look like? You'll start with 2 single arm swings, right, 2 single arm swings, left, 2 clean and press, right, 2 clean and press, left, 2 snatch, right, 2 snatch, left, 2 thruster, right, 2 thruster, left, then 4 of each, then 6 of each, then 8 of each, then 10 of each. And believe me, once you get to 10, you're gonna at that point, you're gonna be like, this was a tremendous workout. But if you want, you can go back down. Now, you can go back down by repeating 10. That is Ultimate Warrior level. If you repeat 10 and go back down, that is the Ultimate Warrior variation. Or you could just do the top rung once, 10 once, and then just go back down 8, 6, 4, 2. So there's ways to kind of, increase or decrease the intensity even within this particular variation. By the way, for coaches who are listening, this is an awesome group workout. Just put, however much time on the clock, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and just have your group kind of start attacking this thing. And however much they get through in that amount of time is awesome. So just for coaches and group fitness instructors out there, this is a really cool, high energy, super dynamic workout to just have a lot of people do at once. It just works really well. If you want to play this more, play more of a strength note for this one, start at 1 rep, go up by 1 to 5. I would not go more than 5 for this, and then back down. And then you would just use a heavier weight, right? So if you're dropping the reps, you're going to increase the weight to emphasize strength a little bit more. A few tips with this from experience. Your clean and press might be the first thing to really start to fatigue, particularly the press, the grinding press. So what I recommend, whether you're doing this, focusing on the metabolic conditioning or strength, is if your press starts to stall, if your press starts to fail, turn it into a push press. That's acceptable. That's okay for this. So or you could even just start with a push press from the beginning. So I'm giving you some latitude there. You might want to start off with strict presses. You start realizing, okay, the fatigue's really catching up with me, and the press is the sort of limiting factor here. Don't let the press hold you back. Rather, if the press starts to really just slow you down, or it puts the brakes on, turn it into a push press, use the knee bend, and use the lower body thrust to help get the kettlebell overhead. So that's just a sort of practical variation once you start working through this complex. Again, if you're listening, don't worry. I'll have these written out over on the show notes page at Chronicles of Strength, or you can just watch this high quality, super high quality PowerPoint over on the YouTube channel. Last one, variation 3. We call this the big boss man, because we're just going to do doubles now. So that's why it's big, because we're doubling up. And because we're doubling up, we're just going to do 3 very basic exercises. This is a standard sequence, but it's the laddering variation that makes it interesting. The exercises are double clean, press, and front squat. Big hinge, big press, big squat. So hitting the major muscle groups, the big movements, multi-joint compound exercises, the useful stuff. And then same variation ideas apply. So if you want to really want to huff and puff and sweat with this, then start at 2 reps of each, up to 10 and back down. Probably, again, like 2 by 16 kilogram kettlebells for most men for this one would make sense. Somewhere around 2 8-kilogram kettlebells for most women will make sense. Now, let me say a quick note, because people sometimes quibble about the prescriptions I give on weights. People say, yeah, Pat, that sounds too light, or that sounds too heavy. Please understand a couple things. I give general recommendations. I'm talking to oftentimes a lot of different people with many different backgrounds, many different experience levels. So if you know yourself, you hopefully know yourself better than I know you, because I have no idea who you are. Maybe I know who you are. Maybe we've hung out. I don't know, but I'm assuming I don't really know who you are. So I have to give general recommendations, general ranges. If you hear that prescription, you're like, that's way too light, fine. Use a heavier set. Macho man, go for it. Or macho woman, I don't care. I'm just trying to get people started here. So just please understand that. But also, like, I've been doing this a while. I see what's appropriate for these routines across a broad range of abilities. So I think you can kind of trust me. And just because you could do more doesn't always mean that you should. So keep that in mind, right? Just because you could doesn't always mean that you should. So just wanted to put that out there, because I've been getting a lot of, frankly, annoying emails lately about that. And if you send me an email that's not annoying, I will always try to get back. But if it's just like this ranty, quivering, obnoxious, and insulting diatribe, it's going right into the trash. So, all right, sorry, had to vent that out. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate it. So, big boss man, variation 3, double clean press front squat. If you're going to start with 2 reps of each for the kind of metabolic focus, awesome. Then you're going to jump up by 2 reps every time. So then you do 4 double clean, 4 press. By the way, for this one, you keep the cleans and presses separate. So you'll do all your cleans first, then all your presses, then your front squats. And same thing for this as the previous one. If the press is the limiter, if your press starts to fail, turn it into a push press. Okay, don't let the press stop you from keeping a good pace on this or getting through the complex. So I would want you to start with a strict press with this and see how long you can get. But once that, if that starts to fail, either in terms of, certainly in terms of technique, if your techniques start getting shoddy, just switch to push press, use the lower body assist. That's fine. It's still going to be a ton of benefit. And then if you want to spin it for strength, same theme that we've been playing on, start at 1 rep, go up to 5 at most, and back down. So I say up to 5 at most, because you could go up to 3 at this and use even heavier weight, and it'd still be awesome. So I'm kind of giving you a range of flexibility to play with here. Now, let me leave you with this one kind of cool final variation on these ladder style complexes, which is as follows. Instead of laddering up every exercise, every round, you ladder up just one exercise at a time. So let me try to explain that. So imagine we're sticking with this. All right. So we've got double clean, press, and front squat. What you can do is you can ladder up one exercise at a time while keeping all the other exercises fixed at a particular rep range. So for example, say we start with 1 rep of each. We go 1 double clean, 1 press, 1 front squat. Then the next time through, we start just laddering up the double clean. We go 2 double cleans, but stay at 1 press, 1 front squat. Then 3 double cleans, 1 press, 1 front squat. And then we go up to 5 double cleans, 1 press, 1 front squat. Then once we hit the top of the ladder with the first exercise, we reset and we start laddering up the second exercise. So then we go 1 double clean, 2 press, 1 front squat, 1 double clean, 3 press, 1 front squat, 1 double clean, 4 press, 1 front squat, up to 5 on the press, reset, and then do the same thing with the front squat. 1 double clean, 1 press, 2 front squat, 1 double clean, 1 press, 3 front squat, and then finally up to 5 on that, and we're done. Why would that variation be useful? Well, that variation is cool because you could kind of swap the weight out if you wanted to just kind of really give yourself the most appropriate challenge for that particular exercise. So, if you're kind of like laddering up the press, you might use a somewhat lighter weight than if you're laddering up the front squat, because presumably you can front squat more than you can press. So I'm sorry, I don't want to add confusion here. I just wanted to give you one extra tool that you could throw into the mix. If that didn't make any sense to you, that's fine. Just stick with the original prescriptions. So there we have it, my friends. We have 3 workout variations. The first one was demolition, which was 2-hand swing, goblet squat, and push-up. The second one was Mr. Perfect, single arm swing, clean and press, snatch, and thruster. The third one was the Big Boss Man with double clean, double press, and front squat. And then we said you can kind of spin each of these to your preference. You can do more of a metabolic focus by starting at 2 reps of each, going up to 10. And if you're feeling juicy, you can go back down, or you can spin it towards strength. Start at 1 rep up to 5 at most and back down, but using a heavier weight. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope that you use these workouts. I would love to hear how it goes. Like I said, I really do enjoy hearing the feedback. If do me a favor, if you like these sort of more conversational, and it seems like I'm getting really good feedback so far, so I plan to keep doing them, but I always appreciate your feedback specifically. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what else I can share with you, what else I can do. And then finally, come over to my email list, because I share a lot of more stuff over there. Everything, we talk training, of course, we talk nutrition, we talk programming. I give tons of workouts, and I just, it's just a fun time, guys. People say that my emails are even occasionally a little bit funny, and you can get on my email list for free over at 101kettlebellworkouts.com. That's 101kettlebellworkouts.com. That gives you a nice, big, fat, juicy PDF of 101 kettlebell workouts. It's just a free collection. That gets you on my email list. And then if I do put out cool programs, email subscribers get not only early access, but pre-order discounts and bonuses. So there's lots of perks. So yeah, check it out. I appreciate you tuning in, whether it's on the podcast or on YouTube. And yeah, salutations. And be safe. Okay, there we go. Goodbye.